Hey, what's going on? My name is Mick, and I'm posting my day trading journey right here to YouTube with complete transparency and honesty. And today, I lost on two trades. I was 0 for 2, but I wanted to go over exactly what those trades were and why I lost what I did. It was a little bit over what I typically like hope to lose for. My max loss in a day, I'd like to keep around $500. That's about 1% of the 50K account size. I'd like to keep it around there, but you know, stuff happens and sometimes you can't keep it exactly the way you'd like to. But two trades. The first one was a $250 loss, which is where I would like to keep my individual losses and then have a max at like 2. But I kind of want to go over these in a live manner. I do have the trades recorded, so I kind of wanted to just drag through them. This first one, the setup was off of a negative 5 minute fair value gap here. So as we were approaching, we had some pretty big displacement off of yesterday's high of day at 45.84. And this large displacement, in hindsight, you know, I really wish I would have seen maybe like a market structure shift, so like break below this low here before we came back up and tagged it. Maybe that in hindsight, that's, you know, what I can do better next time. But the objective was to try to get short, so I set a limit right at 45.80. And I set a limit, got tagged in, and relatively quickly I realized that this was this was not the right time, really the right trade or the right time, and very quickly got stopped out here. Also, if you look back at this looks like a fairly large wick. So in my mind, what I saw with that was obviously I got stopped out. But what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at maybe this was a liquidity grab, grab it, and then you know, head in the opposite direction. So immediately in my head, I'm already thinking like, okay, what did I do wrong? And then if my analysis is correct, which you could obviously, I was wrong here, I got stopped out, but my bigger picture analysis, if that's correct, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm still right. How can I re-enter? And I think I found that I have been getting myself in trouble with these kind of trades where I will go in and basically make the same trade right afterwards. So this is the next trade where if you look over here, I've got, this is on the 1 minute time frame, but I got short the first time right about here, right before this run up. And then the second time I got short was right here. This was impulsive. I was pretty disappointed in this one. It was a combination of impulse. I want to get in this trade because it's starting to look like it's going with my analysis. And also didn't really have any like higher time frame confirmations here. It kind of looks like a lower time frame head and shoulders to some extent, but again, I'm trying to make these plays off of ICT, and at the bare minimum, I could have played this 1 minute fair value gap, but I still ended up getting short here. You know, you could look at this as a head and shoulders, you could look at it as price acceptance at this level, 45.80 kind of holding up. Either way, I was wrong again, so I want to play this out again. The thing that bothered me about this particular trade as we kind of scrub through this, this level, in my experience, the level that I enter on, if we spend a lot of time around that level, I start to get a little bit unsure about the play that I'm in, exactly how, I guess I'm just unsure about the play. You know, I'm at this point, I'm trying to figure out, like, am I in the right play? Is the market in my direction or is it not? Maybe I'm overthinking the whole process. Either way, I didn't like the price action. It was kind of jumpy. There was no direction. It didn't want to pass 45.83 up here. It did not want to pass that on the upside. And at the same side, it didn't want to drop below 45.80 right here. Bunch of wicks down here. So I think in hindsight, you know, obviously, I'm not upset about the first trade. I think The first trade definitely could have been better, maybe on a higher time frame analysis. I did have the 5-minute fair value gap that I was playing off of, and so again, I'm not upset about that because I felt like after a large amount of displacement, maybe the checklist should have, and could have included a market structure shift and a liquidity grab to kind of make that a little bit stronger of a trade. But the second one is where I really feel like I messed up big time. And again, it's the mistake of hopping in when you don't need to be hopping in, just because you're like, oh, I'm so sure that my original analysis was correct. I was just the wrong timing, and that might not actually be the case. So that's where I struggle, is that thinking that, you know, oh, it's still right. But at the end of the day, this is what it looked like, right? Between the two trades, it's just chop. It's sideways chop. There's no direction. There's no setup. There's nothing clear here to show me any indication of really, I mean, anything. Had we had a candle close below 45.80, that could have been an indication like, okay, maybe we're heading in that direction. Or if we had any sort of buying around 45.83 and not have all these large wicks. Today is Monday, and I'm trying to remember that these kind of things are the things that I need to be keeping an eye on. Make sure I understand what day of the week it is. I understand kind of a higher time frame picture as to what the market may be doing at that particular time of day or that day of the week. I just need to make sure that I'm staying locked into that stuff, and make sure I don't impulse into a second trade because I'm so convicted of knowing that my trade was right when it's obviously wrong. That's a big thing, right? Just trust the market. When the market shows you you're wrong, trust it, and maybe not impulse in. And especially when there was no higher time frame confirmations, there was no confirmation at all. So that was one of my other issues. But again, got stopped out here right there, and that was the two trades for today. I was pretty upset with myself. The first trade, I kept my stop pretty tight. I kept the loss to about 250. This second trade, I entered right here. I entered short here at really 45.80 again, pretty much. And then I set my stop above the highs here. It's just tough. You know, it's tough to see the mistakes that you're making and continuously make them over and over again. But, you know, this is Monday. I want to pull the chart up for you. This is what the chart looks like today. And this is just sideways chop. So I'm not upset. I'm just remembering why I make these videos, which is to review them, and so that other people maybe can learn from my mistakes. Maybe I can learn from my mistakes. That would be pretty special as well. That's all I got for you. Thanks for sticking around if you stuck around, and I appreciate it. If this was valuable to you in any way, appreciate a like and subscribe. Otherwise, see you next time. Peace.